Jesse Allen here, and joining us now, we have the Executive Director of Government Relations with GROWMARK, Chuck Spencer's on with us today. Chuck, how are you?
Doing great, Jesse. We're seeing good progress in planning, getting some heat units now across much of the country here where we're seeing good crop emergence starting. So now it's a matter of making sure we get everything planted and then those crops get taken care of as we go along in the spring.
Definitely, very, very true. I know planting pace is moving along quite rapidly, and we're hoping for a strong growing season across the country. And I know GrowMark and the GrowMark FS family, you guys can help out farmers in a lot of different areas and nationwide. I want to focus, though, today on some different things, talking about sustainability and a lot of different things that you and the GrowMark team are doing when it comes to sustainability right now. And maybe just tell us a little bit about the government relations team with GrowMark and how you kind of relate to all the different units in the GrowMark FS family, Chuck.
Well, that's a great place to start, Jesse, because when you think about a farmer-owned cooperative that the GrowMark system is, we have our brand FS, which are the ag retail units that are across the country here. And what we have is that we stay in tune with farmers very closely, as you might guess, because farmers sit on the board of directors, they guide the policy, and certainly our mission statement and vision and values are driven by those farmer owners. And so when it comes to sustainability and what we're doing, while there are many of us who have farm experience and grew up on farms, there are a number of us who are very interested in the environment and agriculture who are now working for the FS system. And that's a great match because the technical expertise can come through knowledge that they gain by going to additional schooling or training programs from the Certified Crop Advisor programs, where they're able to work hand in glove then with the farmer producer, developing those relationships, working across rural America, because that's where many of our crops are grown, and helping farmers make the best decisions for matching up their nutrient management plan with their cropping plan. And of course, we have to manage fields at the field level. Being government relations, we work very closely with so many of the professionals within our business units. Those leaders sit on executive committees of trade associations, and we're deeply engaged with them every day on a state, national, and provincial level as well. And what we watch is that we need to make sure that our policies are very much in tune with farmers and what they want to see on the land, voluntary, incentive-based, and then conveying what they're doing on a regular basis when they are managing for the right reasons at the field level, right rate, source, time, and place, a fertilizer placement, using crop protectants in a method that looks at the environmental thresholds and only applying when they need to. Because like all of us, Jesse, we like to make sure our cost of production stays low and the prices we receive stay very high.
Very, very true. And it's kind of government relations for GrowMark, kind of the glue that holds the GrowMark family together, so to speak, Chuck. And, I know one of the big topics in agriculture here the last few years, climate change, carbon sequestration, things of that nature. Talk about some of the things that GrowMark, you guys are doing when it comes to climate change and carbon sequestration.
Yes, those are topics that are going to be around for, I think, every agricultural producer, as well as what consumers want to see for the rest of our lifetimes. And I know there's a variety of us listening, as well as us talking here with age differences, but that is going to be our future. I think the constructive and positive story for agriculture is that when you think about the generational aspect of family agriculture, many of farms being over 100 years, 150, we've actually seen signs being posted at 200 years on some of the farms in this country. We know that sustainability has been central to that family's orientation, because you can't pass on the farmland without being sustainable. And as you point out, what have we been doing then? Well, we've been engaging deeper with conversations of policymakers, inquiring and asking questions, or even proposing laws that may be actually regressive or take us backwards from being able to manage on a field-by-field basis, which is where the best decisions are made, and then looking at it from a scale of either a state or then a national perspective. There's a lot of of emotion that can get involved with environmental care and stewardship, both on the farm and, of course, in the consuming population as well. And I think, Jesse, you and viewers and listeners understand that what it takes is us all listening to one another. The most productive outcomes, as we have found over and over when it comes to policy matters, is listening to one another, understanding the technology and science that we use on the farm, recognizing that we advance every year in the management capabilities of what we have, and then making sure that we look at things like our sustainability platform says, those activities, processes, and products and services that endure over time, because our sustainability platform is endure, and that's what its name is. And so we look at that from a perspective and naming farmers enduring farms for meeting specific criteria for farming practices that they employ, sustainability and stewardship practices that they have, as well as recognizing our crop specialists who help guide the farmers in working on a very confidential basis, one-on-one, with their conservation plans, their cropping plans, and then how that impacts water quality. We may not be experts in every one of those fields, but we do know that the farmer community, as well as agricultural professional community, if we make the connections and work together like you and I are here this morning, we can certainly continue this process of productivity at the field level and on farms.
Well, we talk about productivity, we talk about farmer profitability, Chuck, and obviously GROWMARK. You know, a lot of the things you mentioned, a lot of that comes back to helping those farmers on their operation, help with their profitability, whether we're talking agronomy, grain marketing, you know, fuels, logistics, government relations, you know, obviously the government relations, different policies, et cetera, et cetera. Talk a little bit about that, because I know there's a lot of different areas that GROWMARK has under its umbrella, and you know, I kind of mentioned a few of those there, like agronomy, things like that. You guys are always working on different policies to help out farmers when it comes to their profitability.
That is true, and that's central to the reason why we exist and how co-ops got started. And just to give you I think a snapshot of cherry picking some of the favorite things that I know we deal with when it comes to sustainability actions. We happen to hold quarterly meetings, and I chair those within the GROWMARK system. And we have a variety of networks that then feed into this sustainability committee under the Endure umbrella. Agronomy, we've been able to continue to look at how we expand our base of recognition for enduring farms, crop specialists that are nominated and then achieve that status of recognition within our system, but then also national recognitions for their work as for our advocates. So that's going to be very important. And then some of that work has also then parlayed itself into the president and chairman of our board of directors at GROWMARK being able to be requested to testify March 11th. And the hearing is out there on the Senate Agriculture Committee's website under hearings and recordings, where we were part of a four-panel group that were able to explain the importance of sustainability at the field level, what it means to farmers. And then our chairman actually has a project in researching carbon sequestration on his farm that the National Weather Advisory Service has on his farm. It's actually the National Oceanic Atmospheric Administration, has a field level demonstration on their farm with research that has went back to 1996 with at least 15 to 20 different cooperators in the research area. And what that provides is information for all of us, policymakers, producers, about sustainability actions on a farm in the Midwest that may be corn and soybean rotation. And then quickly transitioning here, you've got grain activities. How efficient can we move grain? How can we move more bushels with fewer emissions as far as greenhouse gases are concerned? Making sure that we have an efficient chain all the way down to farmer level when it comes to origination of grains, and then also delivering products that consumer processing entities would like to purchase and matching those up. Energy, as you pointed out, you got fuels, you got lubricants, and how we can then have more miles per gallon with fewer emissions out of tailpipes, whether it's cars or trucks. I think those are going to be very important components of what we deal with, not only as a producer, which benefits them, but it benefits consumers, and it also benefits all of us for cleaner air, cleaner water, and healthier soils.
Well, Chuck, a lot of great things that you guys are doing with government relations in the GROWMARK family, and I'm sure that if producers or other folks in agriculture want to learn more, probably one of the easiest ways is to check out that GROWMARK website.
Yes, we have our sustainability report on the GROWMARK website, and so you can search for that. It is prominently displayed, and it reviews in summary all the different activities we have, from helping FFA chapters across the country to pollinator plots, the fortunate aspect we have of handling and then also being a seed distributor for cover crop seeds. We're one of the largest vegetable seed distributors in North America. So the diversity is very present within our system, and that comes from the farmers owners and their changing demands on a continual basis to stay progressive. You think about what we've done, and you and I were talking about the aspect of remote or connectivities that we have to doing a webcast like this and interviews from all over the country, located wherever we can be. Agriculture has the same thing when it comes to guidance systems and then data collection systems that continually evolve on the farm, in field data acquisition systems that we're able to make real-time decisions, and that is going to become enhanced every year, leaping forward with the ability for people like you and I to understand what's going on in the farm in a better manner, and then for farmers to look at their return on investment. Because as we know, sustainability always ends up being economic sustainability first, so we can afford the practices that we can put into place that help the overall sustainability of land, water, and air.
Well, Chuck, a lot of great stuff, and I've enjoyed our discussion today. Any final thoughts before we run out of time? Anything else you'd like to add today?
I think it's important for each of us who have the experience of working with farmers or being a practicing and active farmer, that we take every opportunity we can to explain clearly what we do to policymakers. They're looking for input, and too often we like to sit back and watch them or on TV or listen to them on the radio. I think what we need to make sure we're doing is having that connection with staff or the member themselves, one-on-one, where you go to the town hall meeting and you say, hey, you know what? I'm an agricultural producer, or I'm an agricultural producer employee, and this is what we're doing, and I want you to know how focused we are on doing what's right for the environment. And they need to hear that, and that's how good policy is going to be made.
Well, he is the Executive Director of Government Relations for GROWMARK. Really appreciate the time today. You can learn more, growmark.com. That's the website, growmark.com. Chuck Spencer, thanks so much for joining us on Market Talk today. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Jesse.